information technology, and I had Punjabi as my sixth subject.
Is academics are like super important for your college application, or it's just a part of your college application?
Well, I am very concerned and passionate about exploring income inequalities and how businessmen can engage socially.
So you are trying to become boxer, Prisha. Hello, Prisha. Congratulations for UPenn class of 2028. So, Prisha, who are you? Please introduce.
First of all, thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. I am Prisha Arora, and I'm from Amritsar, Punjab. I just completed my grade 12 in CBSE, and I'll be attending the Wharton School of Business at University of Pennsylvania, class of 2028.
Okay, amazing. So, Prisha, as I know that you have a great interest in debates and competitions, MUNs. So, how did you develop this interest, and what about extracurriculars related to debate?
Okay, so I was very much interested in public speaking for a very long time. Ever since I was a kid, I used to do school competitions, declamations, speeches, and everything. But I didn't start professionally debating till my grade 11. Actually, my entire application started in grade 11 only. Grade 9 and 10, I focused on my academics, and then came COVID, so I couldn't do much. Then I started working on my profile in grade 11, and within 2 years, I went from being a class debater to an international debater. So there was this big spike in my application. It started, I changed my school in grade 11. I went to Invictus International School, and there I attended a debate boot camp by Indian School Debating Society. And we went on to the national camp. I cleared the semi-finals and everything, but I couldn't make to the national team. So I started debating independently with the Indian Debating League. And I did state competitions, and they selected me for international competitions. I went on to the British parliamentary qualifiers for Oxford, Cambridge, and LSE. And then I did IIT Madras Tamil Nadu Debating Championship. I was the runner up and best opening speaker for Odisha Debating League. Then I did international tournaments as well. UAE will take championship, and then Philippines Debates Open and Docs.
Okay, amazing, amazing. So, as we are talking about extracurricular, so what about, I think, Ratan Tata Award? So, like, please can you explain how did you get and what's about experience?
Yeah, so this is an annual award that a school awards to, there are like two, three awards, one for business, one for computer science, one for economics. And I got one for business because I am extremely, you know, very much passionate about business and entrepreneurship. I've done many extracurriculars, many uh, things to explore my interest in business, and seeing that my school gave me that title of the Ratan Tata Award for Entrepreneurship.
Amazing, amazing. And what about community work? I think you already have a great experience of community work and a great journey with. So, what about community work? Any extracurricular you have in community work?
Yes, actually, I worked for 2 years under Girl Up Amritsar. Girl Up is an international organization by the UN, and we have a branch here in Amritsar. And 1 year I worked as a member, and the other year I was their president, and we did quite a lot. So basically, I have community work up to 2 years, helping the underprivileged and advocating for gender equality. We made an impact on the life of 1,000 plus girls through sanitary kits distribution in the underprivileged sector, and conducted self defense boot camps, impacting the life of once again 1,000 plus girls. We went to different schools. We hosted fundraisers and raised about 2 to 3 lakhs. And then we donated that money to an non-profit hospital for the betterment of the people. And similarly, and I was leading a 50-member team. I had my team at all times with me, and it felt really good. We made an impact.
Okay, amazing. So that means you have great extracurriculars with passion, because every extracurricular align with your passion and like what you really like, which is entrepreneurship and business. So let's talk about your profile, your SAT. So what about SAT preparation? How much you scored and any difficulties you found?
So I did not give the SAT. I went for test optional. I did not give the SAT, but I have done SAT prep. Mean I gave, the PSATs in grade 8, ninth, and 10th. But my family wasn't really willing for me to go to the US for studies. So they didn't let me appear for the SAT. But luck has it, I got into UPenn. So I went in test optional.
Okay, amazing, amazing. Totally makes sense. And what about your academic journey? Academic, like how much you scored?
I have been extremely passionate about studies since, I was a kid. I topped school third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. But obviously, colleges take into account the ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So I was a CBSE student all my life. And 10th, may I had those subjects which all CBSE students do: English, math, science, social science, information technology, and I had Punjabi as my sixth subject. And I scored 98.4 in my 10th grade and a 99.7 in my ninth grade. In grade 11, I was a commerce student and I took up English, applied maths, economics, business studies, accountancy, and music as my subjects. And grade 11, my score was 96, 97%, and my 12th grade predicted was about 98%. Abhi finals result will be released in a month or two, so we'll find out soon.
Okay, totally makes sense. Amazing. And what about your opinion? Is academics are like super important for your college application, or it's just a part of your college application? So, according to your opinion,
So, college applications are basically, a whole of many different components that
right?
hold quite a lot of weightage. For example, your academics, your extracurriculars, your essays, your LORs. So, I wouldn't say
Yeah,
academics are the most important thing, but they are important because, if you're going to be applying to top schools, everybody there is going to be at the top of their class. So,
exactly.
being good at academics is actually an important component, but it's not the most important because you need different things to make you stand out, be it extracurriculars or your essays. So, I think academics are important, but not as people say that if you don't have marks, you won't get into a good university. There are other components as well.
Okay, amazing. And I also have a question. What about internship? Like, is it difficult or easy to get an internship? And I think you have an experience of internship in your family business, right?
Yeah, I have done quite many internships. I have I have about four. I've done about four internships, and two of them my school has been really helpful. They have these job shadowing programs where they, get us interned at different firms, different summers. So in my grade 11, I did an internship for a week about at a chartered accountancy firm where we learned about the finances and accounting and management, and then I really liked it. I always wanted to go into the field of accounting and finance. So then I did a 3-month internship at MS Deep and Associates. That was by personally approaching them, actually. It wasn't like somebody, I approached them. And yes, you can get internships if you show the right amount of right passion and enthusiasm to learn. And then I had to juggle between my studies and internship because obviously I had school at all times. So it used to be like 11th grade, may we have school till say 12:30 or 1, and then I used to go to work, and then I had my classes and everything. Then I did an internship at my parents' business for about 3 months, 3 to 4 months, and I still do that. Now that I'm free from my studies, I go to work every day, keeping myself busy. And then my school got me a job shadowing program at Quality Pharmaceuticals. That is an industrial management internship, and I did an internship there too for about 4 to 5.
Okay, totally makes sense. Like you have a great experience of working in a real startup or real company. So that was
Yeah.
great. And what about your essay writing, essay journey? Because according to me, essay is not a just essay; it's a story. And if you are able
Yeah.
to show your real story, honest story, who are you? Then the chances are high. So, what about your essay writing journey?
So this is obviously essays are your extremely personal and unique stories, and I had a unique story that I was always, I was very sensitive about this area for a very long time. So in an Indian society, there exists a complex web of norms and expectations that shape the
Yeah,
lives of individuals, particularly its women. From the moment a girl is born, she's introduced to a world where her identity is predefined by the societal standards dictating how she should look, act, and behave, and they are deeply embedded in the Indian society. Matlab, you
yeah,
cannot deviate from them. They are hard core rules. And so due to this, there is an expectation of silence from women or girls. So, in an Indian society, a girl is taught to be obedient and submissive. Her voice is often, suppressed in the patriarchal ideals, and any deviation from this prescribed role is defined as misbehavior. So, for example, when a girl or a woman dares to raise her voice or stand up for herself or be bold, she's not applauded for her courage, but rather she's looked down for her audacity to do that.
yeah,
So, my story, I basically combined two of these aspects together. Many people do not know this about me, but I love to embroider in my free time, and it happens so that embroidery is actually a very rich part of the Indian culture, and obviously that is associated with the elderly and you know the past generations and everything. So my story was this way, that when I learned to embroider, I was always confined between the norms of tradition of how things should be done and my own yearning for freedom and self expression. Metaphorically, also, and literally, when I do embroidery, I am confined in those norms, and metaphorically, also, I am confined by the norms of society to act a certain way, to behave in a certain way. So I thought about how this longing pushed to create something uniquely mine and cross these defined boundaries. So with time, I took a deviation from traditional patterns and I introduced bold and unconventional stitches into my personal projects. Right. And just as I have opened, each embroidery piece I create, I have opened my own identity into the fabric of society, refusing to be bound by, the norms and expectations. Now, this challenging traditions has helped me grow as a person to be open minded and empowered. Now I have boldly embraced the future and I'm becoming a future leader who is not afraid to stand up and raise my voice and confront the defined norms to be true to myself. Because, not even just essay writing, but life as a whole is about being true to yourself and to create purposeful change. So, this journey to me was not about erasing tradition, but rather about reshaping it, adding my own thread to it. So that was my essay all about, because I strongly believe that women and girls should be allowed to stand up for themselves, to be bold, to be true to themselves, not being always defined by the norms that society says. Because I too, for long, have been under that pressure. I've been in an Indian society all my life. I have been taught how to behave, how to act, how to look, and that has uh, in a very huge way impacted my life and how I think, because I don't really believe that, okay, to an extent you are to live in a society, so you are supposed to act like a society, but that does not mean you'll not be true to yourself. You should be true to yourself, be the person you are.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, like your essay was so deep and showing the reality of society. They are like just predicting that okay, you are a woman, so you have to behave like this, but it's not gonna true for future. So yeah, that was amazing. And what about your essay of why this university? So in UPenn essay, like what you write? Any specific thing you remembered?
Okay, so UPenn basically has three supplementary essays. One is about a gratitude question, the other is community, and why uh, water. So UPenn is basically the hub of finance, and obviously it was always a dream to go to an Ivy. Although with time, my priorities changed, and I was planning to apply somewhere else. However, what an education would actually help me explore various economic theories on which different things are built and assess their efficiency in addressing different things. For example, I am very concerned and passionate about exploring income inequalities and how businessmen can engage socially and adopt responsible tax practices to contribute to the wealth redistribution. So, a modern education would help me transform into a leader and to make an impact and to drive positive change.
Okay, amazing, amazing. Totally makes sense. And any tips you want to give to all students about your application? Like at that time, all students are just like struggling with their essays, application, extracurriculars, balancing between academics and extracurriculars. So, any tips or any advice you want to give to all students?
So, firstly, it is, I definitely say that what is meant for you will find your way to you. You do not need to stress way too hard about it. Obviously, you should be working hard to make your dreams come true, but don't stress way too much. You need to create a balance between your academics or work and your life. I personally enjoyed my school life a lot, and I was able to successfully build a balance between the two. And another thing I would say that advance your extracurricular profile around the mantra singularly talented and wonderfully diverse. Now, what I've seen these days is many of my juniors who come talk to me, I've seen that they have a whole list. They'll say, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. But they don't pick one thing that, their profile would actually revolve around, or one thing they're extremely, extremely good at, which makes them stand out. Now it's very basic because of all the consulting firms and the career counselors and everything. Everybody today knows write a research paper, do internships, and do something extracurricular, do community work, and I'll get into a good college.
Yeah.
But in order to get into these extremely competitive and good universities, you don't need to you need to be diverse, but you need to be singularly talented. That's what my profile was about. At one point of time, I also had, huge list of things that I had done or I wanted to
Yeah.
do. But there wasn't a specific thing that I was extremely, extremely talented about. So I would definitely say you should work on that. And next, it's important to get your LORs from the right teachers who actually know you, who can tell who you are as a person and what kind of, you know, how curious you are or how good you are in the classroom, and you have an urge to actually learn things. And then I would definitely say that students actually, you need to find the right fit for yourself. It's not like these are the top universities, I'll be applying to them. Do your proper research, take your time, and find what is the right fit for you. I mean, you don't want to go to a university where, means you want to dive into more of a practical approach rather than a
Correct.
theoretical approach, and you go to a university that's completely theoretical, and that's not the right fit for you. You need to find the right fit for yourself. And I would definitely recommend everybody to start their applications on time. It's not like before time.
Yeah.
I've seen students who start their application in 11th grade only. No, there's no fun in that. Started in your 12th grade in the month of April or May, 4 to 5 months before the deadline. I personally did my common app application in 1 month, and I not advise that to
Yeah.
anybody. Take your time, do your essays, and if you're applying to multiple universities, there are going to be many supplemental essays that you need to work on. And choose your extracurriculars carefully, because on Common App also you just have an option to put 10, and having a long list won't matter because your essay will not include your extracurriculars. It is your story, and for your extracurriculars you can only jot down 10 of them. And the other thing is, execution is very important. It does not matter that you did this, until and unless you don't clearly write them in your application. For example, I wrote in my application that I was the head girl of my school. So what I did there, I managed agendas, liaised with administration, supervised school club events, including the Melange Career Fest and IC3 Regional Forum. So as a head girl, I do have many duties, but it's the importance of how you execute and write it in your application. Use strong words to actually convey that what you did made an impact, rather than just listing things that won't matter. But what matters is that you made an impact, and you did something that was important.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Totally agree with that. Exactly. And what about Prisha? Like you taught self-defense to 1,000 plus girls. So, what about your self-defense skills?
Yeah, actually, I did attend. We hosted 3 to 4 workshops in different government schools, and obviously, as a team, we were there learning too. But right now, before I go off to
Yeah,
college, I am planning to learn boxing or some other sort of self defense, and I'm going to enroll into the classes. Within this week. Actually, I was
yeah,
planning.
amazing. So you are trying to become boxer, Prisha.
No, but it's like every girl today needs to learn how to defend themselves and, like I said, stand up for
Yeah,
themselves. It's
exactly.
important.
And I also suggest to all students just do any physical activity, join gym or any kind of sports. So it like amazing. Before going to college, just focus on your health also. Try to be fit after getting into USA. So yeah, thank you. And any advice for students who want like who just accepted to top universities and not top, but yeah, normal universities, they are going to USA. So any pre preparation.
So, if you're a CBSE student like me, obviously you have a lot of free time on your hands. I am free for the next 4 months, but I'd say use this time wisely. You won't get this much time again when you are off to university. Learn a new skill, focus on your health, mental and physical, and give time to your family, your friends, and to yourself before you
Yeah,
head off.
exactly. Because these 4 months are super important. It's just you can say that last time with your family, with your friends. Because after getting into university, you have to balance that life. And after 4 years, you don't have a time to like just live that life you are currently living. So just focus and try to yeah do what you want. And Priya, yeah, what about your like financial aid? How much you like? Financial aid you received?
I basically never planned to apply to the US. Actually, I applied to just one college in the US, that was UPenn, and I wasn't going to apply anywhere. My initial plan was to apply to London and in the UK. And to be very honest, these past 2 3 years that I started focusing on my applications, all I did was focus on how I could make my UK applications better, and I did not know anything about US applications. I did so much research in that 1 month that I was applying, and basically, what I've seen is now there are certain universities like Dartmouth or MIT that are need blind. Means your financial aid does not actually financial need does not affect the way they
Yeah,
look at their application. But I have seen that in some universities, they actually, if you require it, only then apply for it. I am grateful enough that my parents can actually support me these beginning of 2 3 years, and then I can work on my own. But if there is an attitude or there is a mindset in the minds of student that even if you don't require it, let me apply for it. But that actually might have
negative.
the wrong
Yeah,
impact on your application, might hinder your acceptances. And I've seen that in my town this year, that actually happened. They were because admission officers have been reading these applications for I don't know how many years, 10, 15 years, and they have that experience. and they will definitely know that you need it or you don't need it. So just think about it carefully. If you actually require it, then definitely go ahead
Yeah,
for it. Don't take up loans because things like that, because there are many good universities that even give full ride and
yeah,
everything. But if you don't require it, then don't put
exactly.
yourself, at a
In fact,
negative
yeah, I
side.
totally agree with that. But like I feel that Indians have different kind of DNA. Like every third student who is applying, they are just applying for financial aid. But yeah, try to be honest because
Yeah.
admission officers have great experience of 30, 40 years, and they are
Yeah.
like reading thousands of applications, so they know like you are why you are applying for financial aid. So if you are applying to any university, so
Yeah.
in your whole application, just try to be honest with your financial condition, with your extracurriculars, GPA, and all. So thank you, Prisha, for sharing your all thoughts and everything. And what about your future plans?
I am basically, I want to study finance, but I'm not like 100% sure. I want to explore other areas as well, economics, real estate, public policy, and things like that. But that's the good thing about US universities. They give you time to finalize your major and they give you time to explore different things. So I definitely want to go with the flow because I myself have seen that the way you plan things might not work out for you, and maybe God has a completely different plan
Exactly,
for you.
God have plans.
Last I was thinking that I'll be studying in the UK, and those 5-year plan actually, brought me a better opportunity and changed my whole, life in one day. That I'll be now going to US. So definitely plan ahead of time, but not too ahead of time. I just want to go with the flow now.
Okay, amazing. And you just applied to UPenn in USA in yearly decision, right? Okay, okay. Yeah, it
Yeah.
totally makes sense. And what about your future mindset? Like you want to work in any company or corporate or just want to start something your own, something like a startup or something. So what kind of mindset?
So, yeah. I definitely, after studying, I would appreciate or I would want some experience in the corporate world. And I'll definitely work, but I also want to do something of my own. My family has their own business and they require my hand in it. So, after studying and getting some experience in the real
Yeah.
world, I will start something of my own and help my family in their business as
Okay,
well.
amazing. And what about your like family background? Any cousin or any of your like cousins, family member who also got into any abroad like universities?
No, actually, it's the first time in our city that anybody's got into an
Oh,
Ivy. I am the first Ivy from the city, and one of my batchmates, she's going to Harvard.
okay,
We both are the first to get selected in Amritsar for the first time. There are more people in Amritsar. Some of my knowns who went to US for studies. One of my cousins is there in Philadelphia only, and I hope. No other very close of my friends is to the US right now, but I hope to find good company
okay,
there.
great, great. Totally makes sense. Okay, so thank you, Prisha, for sharing your all thoughts and experience with all students, and like your journey and story will help all students because like there are many people they are just thinking, okay, if I'm not able to take SAT, then I'm not applying to US universities. But even you are like applying as a test optional, you like try to hard work and try to like add every essential ingredients of the college application from essay to extracurriculars and everything. So that was amazing, and thank you for everything. So congratulations again, Prisha.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
one thing I'd like to add, if you're a CBSE student and you want to get into the top universities, I would recommend take AP exams because it shows the universities that you are actually,
Okay.
capable enough to handle a rigorous curriculum of the US. And SATs nowadays, these days back, a few like a month back, many of the universities and the Ivies made it back to
Exactly.
compulsory. So if you can do that also, but it's not really, important that you must do in order to get into
Yeah.
good college. Do what suits you. and I had a big conflict with many of my teachers since and counselors because I wanted to get into finance. Now CBSE has applied mathematics and standard
Yeah.
mathematics, and many people were of the belief that being an applied math student, I would not get into a finance course even in the UK.
And
UPenn की बात ही अभी छोड़ो, you won't even get into a finance course in the
you,
UK because you have maths and they want standard
yeah.
maths. So it actually varies university to university. There are some universities in the UK and US that do not accept applied mathematics. They
Okay.
want, but if you have applied mathematics, that does not mean you'll not get into the course of your
Okay.
choice.
So you don't have any AP right now?
I gave 3 APs in my grade 11. Now, ninth and 10th May, I did not have the provision to give appear for AP in my previous school. But when I changed my school, I gave 3 APs: AP Microeconomics, AP Calculus AB, and AP English Literature. Now, it varies from university to university. If you get a good score on your AP, you can actually skip some of your college
Yeah.
classes and you do not need to take that course. So, if you're a CBSE student, I'll definitely recommend it because it actually shows that you can take up difficult
And
courses. And I actually did a few online courses as well
yeah.
on Coursera and Udemy, organizational analysis and financial markets. So these courses are actually
Yeah.
free, and you can do that anytime on Coursera or Udemy. And they actually, not just for your college applications, but they actually teach you a lot.
Okay, amazing. Exactly. And be like a sponge, absorb as knowledge as possible, do like courses. And I strongly suggest to all students just take SAT or AP exams if possible for you, because it will create impact on your college application. These are not mandatory, but yeah, like if you have time and if you have that kind of money, so I strongly suggest to take. So thank you, Prisha, for sharing your all experience. And in the end, you want to share anything to all students?
I'd just like to say best of luck for your college journey, and nothing is impossible. You can achieve great heights if you work hard enough for it, and God will definitely, carve the perfect and the suitable best way for
Yeah,
you.
exactly, exactly.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank
having
you.
me.
And I will add like LinkedIn and other social media of Prisha, so you can just check and follow because her profile and journey was amazing. Because without said, you got into UPenn and your extremely amazing story. So thank you, Prisha. All the best, and let's cross the sky limit.
Let's cross the sky.